Hey everyone, and welcome to Practical CSS Grid. Now you're here and that means you've at least heard that CSS Grid may be the new hotness in web design. But beyond that, I think that it represents the biggest dynamic shift in web design since maybe even the invention of CSS itself. It's going to change the way that we design sites as well as the way we build it in code. Now in this course, I'm going to teach you some basic terminology you need to know to understand Grid, but after that we're going to dive right into practical examples using design patterns that you already know and love to learn about all the new properties that come with CSS Grid. Now you may want to know a little bit more about who's teaching you this course. My name is Brian Robinson. I've been a professional web designer and developer for well over a decade now, and I've worked at big enterprise shops all the way down to small agency teams, primarily doing CSS work, but also some JavaScript and PHP and Python mixed in throughout. Now though, I get to take that and give back to all the designers and developers out there through my new company Code Contemporary, mentoring and teaching on topics that I'm very passionate about. Now, in terms of Grid, I started looking into Grid about 5 months before it was even in any of the browsers. That was about 2.5 years ago now. And I got started in it because I watched a couple videos by Jen Simmons, who's a personal hero of mine. She was talking about new layouts and new mechanisms on the web that were going to allow us to do amazing designs. And so I had to get in on that. When I started learning it though, there weren't a lot of good tutorials about how to actually implement them using concrete examples. A lot of them were kind of goofy or silly or maybe even reduced test cases, very small examples of each of these properties. And I found that the best way to do it was just to dive in. And so I actually went in and converted my entire blog site over to Grid before it was even in the browsers. And so now I want to take those 2.5 years of experience with this specification and give you practical examples of how you can implement Grid today. And I'm really excited to share all of this with you. So let's go ahead and dive right in and get to work.